So Better Call Saul ended last night, and I wanted to talk about the series finale. So without further ado, let's get started. So, what did I think? Well, Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time, and obviously I haven't seen every TV show out there, but out of the ones that I have seen, it's my favorite. And Better Call Saul, when it was announced, it was very easy to just write it off as just a cheap cash grab or whatever. But really, it surprised me. I found that it gave a lot richer depth to so many of these characters and the background to the Salamanca storyline and how Mike first got wrapped up with Gus and Mike's whole tragic backstory. It's just, especially considering Mike is one of my favorite characters in this entire series, like in this entire universe. I just totally enjoyed that. Now, what really impressed me and amazed me and surprised me was how they handled the character of Jimmy slash Saul slash Gene. Because this is not only a prequel, but a spinoff and a sequel. It wraps up everything post Breaking Bad. And if you've seen the show, which I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it and then come back. And also watch Breaking Bad and come back and watch it. Because Breaking Bad is kind of essential viewing for this. So, yeah, I was surprised at how sympathetic Jimmy McGill was at first, warts and all. He really was someone that you wanted to see succeed, and his brother Chuck is just always that kind of Pharisee who's saying, "Oh yeah, you'll never change. People never change. Um, you'll always be Slippin' Jimmy." And well, is he right in the finale? Well, as we all now, people can change. He was Breaking Bad, but after he broke bad and started spiraling out of control as Gene, uh, he was finally coming to the point, especially in that when he got locked up in jail, where he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and talk my way out of this. And we get a great Marie cameo and more of an extended cameo. And it's great because for like the first 2.5 seasons of Breaking Bad, when we were introduced to her originally, she was probably the worst character in the show. Like, she contributed nothing to the story. And she was so annoying, so stuck up, just so uh, obsessed with herself, and narcissistic, and this klepto who fortunately got better writing later on. Like, she contributed something later on. So, you know that already. I was very happy to see her there because it made total sense. She's like, you ruined my husband's life, and the lives of all these other people. You can't get off from this. You can't be allowed to walk away. Don't let this man go. So he talks himself down to like 7.5 years, as he is very skilled in doing, as we've seen from the show. And then I was really surprised with the Kim twist, where he learned about what she had told everyone already, or certain people back home, back where she lived in Albuquerque. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then that moment of clarity came to him, that we saw the humanity later on, and hence the appropriate title of the episode, Saul Gone. Saul, in that courtroom scene, when he stepped up and it looked like he was just about to screw her over and just lie to everyone else's faces, just tell the same story again. He changed it, and he actually, much like Walt in the series finale of Breaking Bad, he actually had the decency and the humanity to tell the truth for once. And that was incredible. Like, he wasn't trying to pull off any con. He wasn't trying to scam anybody. He was done hurting people. And he was done gaslighting the issue with Chuck's suicide. He was done with all that, and he admitted his part in the destruction of Chuck and the death of Howard. So that was just so cathartic, much like the scene in the bus in the previous episode, with Kim just breaking down crying in the best Kim scene in the entire series, because that's what we really needed. We really 100% needed these things to happen. I really can't think of a whole big negative to this last episode. The only reason that I still prefer the Breaking Bad finale is just a matter of preference, matter of taste. But I think this is the satisfying finale, happy ending. Maybe you could call it bittersweet because Kim still has stuff to deal with. But yeah, it was amazing what they were able to pull off. And I'm not even sure I covered everything. But once again, this is a spoiler review, and if you've seen it, you know what happens. I love the flashbacks where he was talking about regrets, and he was hiding these regrets that he actually had, obviously. And I think I liked the one with Mike and the other one with Chuck more than I liked the one with. I didn't dislike the one with Bryan Cranston uh, yeah, I didn't dislike that one. It was a good one, but the other two were just kind of ones that were, especially the one with Chuck. We needed to see that, whereas I had some complaints with some of the previous episodes, especially the one entitled Breaking Bad, where they give us these gratuitous, like, deleted scenes that pull you out of the stuff you want to see with Gene. And obviously, these actors have really aged, especially Jesse, and they are pretending like he's as young as he was in Breaking Bad, but not, which obviously he isn't. So this worked better for me. I loved how they wrapped everything up, especially with that last scene with Kim, and he knew it was going to be Kim, visiting him in the one place where he felt happy, jail, where everyone loved him and he had friends. These were all people that I guess he had helped defend. And so, yeah, and then he's making the bread there. It was a callback, of course, to the Cinnabon scenes. So that was just also brilliant. I love the editing and the camera work and just the quiet character moments. This is a very different series from Breaking Bad. Obviously, it doesn't go for the big shock and the big, like, breakneck pace. It takes its time to develop the characters. And sometimes it's a little too slow in a couple spots. But overall, they really pulled it off. And in this particular episode, I can't really think of a whole lot that I would have changed. I don't think I would have changed anything. That last shot of him and Kim sharing the cigarette has so many callbacks here to the other seasons, like him being stuck in jail, mirroring the season 2 Gene flash forward where he's locked out of Cinnabon, and they even have the writing etched in the wall. But especially the callback to the very first episode ever in the series, with him and Kim sharing a cigarette before we even knew the extent of their relationship. We knew there was something, not even necessarily romantic, but yeah, the way they wrapped it up and the fact that he did this much like in Ozymandias when Walter deflects the blame from Skylar to himself while still being a real horrible guy who just kidnapped his daughter. Jimmy enters the courtroom in style in the Saul suit, but then he makes everything right. He deflects the blame to himself. Of course, there's blame on Kim. He knows that. And there's stuff that she's obviously going to have to deal with. But it was just so refreshing, so satisfying once again to see him make things right. And the "My name is Jimmy McGill" line was just so perfect. He was taking back his old self. Saul really was gone. I loved it. And while I don't think that it'll stick out in my mind as much as the Breaking Bad finale or even some of these other TV finales. It was exactly what was needed for the show. The perfect send-off. So, there were definitely a few episodes in the prologue that could have been cut, but these last two that they did were perfection, and I really wouldn't have changed much, if anything at all. So, as once again a huge fan of both of these shows, I just am so satisfied. I've been watching this show live since season 4, I think, and following it all these years through all the delays and everything, especially caused by the pandemic. I'm just so happy to have followed these characters all this way. Yeah, so what did you think about it? And like and subscribe below for more videos like these. See you next time.